A chilly afternoon settled over Johannesburg as thousands of passionate rugby supporters poured into the legendary Ellis Park Stadium. The streets surrounding the venue buzzed with excitement as fans wearing green, gold, and white jerseys discussed their predictions for one of the most anticipated test matches of the year. Every conversation carried hope, confidence, and uncertainty, but everyone agreed on one thing: they were about to witness a clash worthy of rugby's greatest traditions. For England, this journey represented much more than another international fixture. The team had spent months facing criticism after inconsistent performances and disappointing results. Questions surrounded their tactics, their squad selections, and whether they could compete with the world's strongest rugby nations once again. Head coach Steve Borthwick remained calm despite the outside noise. His message to the squad was simple: ignore opinions, trust the preparation, and let the performance speak louder than any headline. South Africa entered the match with a completely different mindset. Under the leadership of Rassie Erasmus, the Springboks had built a culture where excellence was expected every single week. Winning had become a habit rather than an achievement. Every player understood the responsibility of wearing the famous green jersey in front of thousands of loyal supporters who expected nothing less than complete commitment from the opening whistle until the final minute. As kickoff approached, the atmosphere became unforgettable. Flags waved proudly throughout the stadium while traditional songs echoed from every section of the crowd. Television cameras captured emotional supporters, young children wearing replica jerseys, and former rugby legends taking their seats. The anticipation continued to build until both teams finally emerged from the tunnel. The loudest roar of the afternoon greeted the home side as stars like Cheslin Kolbe, Damian Willems, Manny Libbok, Malcolm Marx, Oxenchi, Thomas du Toit, Jasper Wiese, Pieter-Steph du Toit, and the experienced Ebenezabeth walked confidently onto the field. The players looked completely focused, knowing that expectations were incredibly high. England answered with equal determination. Led by captain Jamie George, they marched onto the pitch together alongside key players including Ellis Genge, George Martin, Alex Coles, Ollie Chessum, Ben Earl, Tom Curry, Jack van Poortvliet, Finn Smith, George Furbank, and Emmanuel Fiwaboso. Although they understood the challenge ahead, none of them showed fear. Instead, they embraced the opportunity to compete against the reigning world champions on one of rugby's biggest stages. Following the national anthems, a brief moment of silence filled Ellis Park before the referee signaled the start of the contest. England received the opening kickoff and immediately attempted to control possession through accurate passing and disciplined decision-making. They knew that forcing opportunities too early against South Africa would almost certainly result in mistakes. Patience would be their greatest weapon. The opening exchanges quickly developed into a physical battle. Every tackle echoed around the stadium, every breakdown became fiercely contested, and neither side gave away territory without an intense fight. The pace remained relentless as both teams searched for an early advantage. Gradually, South Africa's powerful forward pack began asserting control. Oxenchi, Malcolm Marx, and Thomas du Toit delivered tremendous strength at scrum time, providing clean possession for their backs. Behind them, the experienced Ebenezabeth controlled the line-out while Jasper Wiese and Pieter-Steph du Toit repeatedly carried the ball into heavy traffic, forcing England's defenders to work tirelessly. England responded with impressive discipline. Tom Curry, Ben Earl, and Ollie Chessum produced several outstanding defensive efforts, slowing South Africa's momentum and forcing them to recycle possession repeatedly. The visitors remained composed, refusing to panic despite the constant pressure from the home crowd. As the first half progressed, South Africa increased their attacking intensity. Manny Libbok controlled the game brilliantly from fly half, mixing tactical kicks with clever distribution. Whenever space appeared, dangerous runners like Cheslin Kolbe, Damian Willems, and Kurtley Arendse accelerated into the attack, constantly testing England's defensive organisation. Eventually, persistence produced the breakthrough. Following several powerful carries close to England's try line, South Africa shifted the ball quickly toward the edge where an unmarked teammate crossed over in the corner. Ellis Park erupted with celebration as the Springboks claimed the opening try. Moments later, Manny Libbok calmly added the conversion to extend the lead. England refused to allow disappointment to affect their performance. Instead of chasing risky offloads, Jack van Poortvliet controlled the tempo while Finn Smith repeatedly pinned South Africa deep inside their own territory with intelligent tactical kicking. Their patient approach gradually created attacking opportunities. Midway through the first half, England finally produced sustained pressure inside South Africa's 22. Strong carries from Ellis Genge, George Martin, and Alex Coles forced the Springbok defence to narrow before a perfectly timed pass released space on the outside. England crossed for an impressive try, bringing the scores level and silencing the home supporters for the first time all afternoon. The remainder of the first half became an outstanding tactical contest. Both coaching staffs continuously adjusted their strategies from the sidelines. Steve Borthwick encouraged England to remain patient and disciplined, while Rassie Erasmus demanded greater physicality from his forwards and faster ball movement from his backs. As halftime approached, South Africa once again demonstrated why they are regarded as one of rugby's elite teams. Wave after wave of attacking phases forced England to defend continuously for several exhausting minutes. Every successful tackle was immediately followed by another powerful South African carry. Eventually, the relentless pressure created enough space for another well-worked try beneath the posts, sending the Ellis Park crowd into celebration once again. England walked toward the dressing room disappointed but still believing they could produce a comeback. Inside both changing rooms, emotions remained controlled. There were no dramatic speeches or emotional outbursts. Steve Borthwick reminded his players that the match remained within reach if they continued executing their game plan. Meanwhile, Rassie Erasmus encouraged South Africa to maintain their discipline while increasing the intensity during the second half. When play resumed, England looked revitalized. Finn Smith distributed the ball confidently while George Furbank and Emmanuel Feiwaboso searched for opportunities out wide. Their attacking shape became more adventurous, forcing South Africa to defend deeper than at any point during the first half. England eventually earned a kickable penalty, reducing the deficit and restoring confidence throughout the team. For several minutes, momentum appeared to swing toward the visitors. Every successful line-out, every dominant tackle, and every well-placed kick strengthened England's belief that an upset remained possible. However, championship teams rarely lose control for long. South Africa responded with another period of exceptional rugby. Jasper Wiese, Pieter-Steph du Toit, and Eben Etzebeth dominated the collisions while Manny Libbok expertly directed play into dangerous areas of the field. Every decision appeared calculated. Every attack carried purpose. A clever defensive interception almost produced another Springbok try before England recovered with outstanding cover defense. The crowd sensed that another momentum shift had arrived. Every turnover earned enormous applause. Every dominant tackle increased the stadium's volume. England continued fighting bravely despite facing relentless pressure from every direction. Yet international rugby is often decided by the smallest details. One delayed defensive reaction. One inaccurate kick. One missed tackle. That was all South Africa required. Recovering possession near midfield, the Springboks launched another rapid attack. The ball moved confidently through multiple pairs of hands before reaching open space, where clinical support play allowed another spectacular try to be scored. The scoreboard now reflected South Africa's consistency rather than simple moments of brilliance. England never abandoned their effort. Jamie George continued inspiring his teammates, while Tom Curry, Ben Earl, and Ellis Genge produced courageous defensive performances despite growing fatigue. Every player continued competing until the very end. During the closing stages, South Africa added one final score after another sustained period of pressure close to England's line, effectively securing a memorable victory in front of their passionate supporters. When the referee blew the final whistle, Ellis Park exploded into celebration. The Springbok players embraced one another after another disciplined and impressive performance, while England gathered together knowing they had competed with courage despite falling short against one of rugby's strongest teams. This match was never defined solely by the scoreboard. It represented resilience, preparation, teamwork, and belief. England demonstrated determination, discipline, and character throughout the contest, refusing to surrender despite facing one of the toughest challenges in world rugby. South Africa once again showed why the squad assembled by Rassie Erasmus continues to set the international standard. Their combination of physical dominance, tactical intelligence, defensive organization, and clinical finishing allowed them to control the decisive moments of the contest. As supporters slowly departed Ellis Park beneath the evening sky, they understood they had witnessed far more than another rugby match. They had experienced another unforgettable chapter in one of international rugby's greatest rivalries, where passion, respect, courage, and excellence combined to produce a sporting spectacle that would remain in the memories of players and fans for years to come.